Okay, guys, good morning. So we're going to go ahead and do part 3, solving multi-step inequalities. Number 1, we're going to solve linear inequalities involving more than one operation. So usually, or last week, all we did was adding and subtracting, and then we did multiplication and division. Remember this thing, when you had multiplication or division, when you go ahead and divide or multiply by a negative, basically the same thing. If you multiply or divide by a negative, it switches the inequality sign, so don't forget that. Solving inequalities involving the distribution properties, so the distributive properties, sorry. So basically, we continue moving out, advancing, continuing our, problem-solving skills, our solving linear equation skills, all of that good stuff. So let's come down here, move it down. Okay, so I'm going to say treat it like an equation, guys, like a regular equation, and then you go to solve. Okay, like an equation. Remember, if you divide by a negative, multiply by a negative, the inequality sign switches. Okay, so we're going to come out here. I guess we'll do some word problems too. When I gave you one on Friday, it was okay. Not too bad. Most of you all got it right. I think it just helped out 1 or 2 people out throughout the day, but it was not too bad. Okay, so write and solve an inequality to find the cells Mr. Jones needs, or Mrs. Jones needs, if she earns a monthly salary of $2,000 plus a 10% commission on her sales. Her goal is to make at least, so that's the least she wants to make. She could make more. Make sure you understand what this is saying here. Her goal is to make at least that much per month. What sales does she need to meet her goal? So regarding this is her salary, $2,000. Her commission is going to be 10% of whatever she sells. X is the unknown how much she sells. But we do know that this relationship together, we want it greater than the 4,000. Can she make at least 4,000, which means equal to 4,000? Yes. So there's that equal sign. Solve this thing right here. So basically, you want to come out here, treat this as an equation. Subtract 2,000 from both sides, and then divide by 0.10. And you wind up with that. Regarding this part real quick, that is your X value. So she must make at least 20,000 in sales to make her monthly goal. That means that she has to go and sell whatever she sells. Does it say what she sells? She has to sell $20,000 in whatever, cars or houses or whatever, a month to make her goal of $4,000, or at least $4,000. Okay, so let's try this one real quick. The print shop, you know what? We'll come back to that one real quick. No, we can do that one. Okay, the print shop advertises a special to print 400 flyers for less than the competition. The price includes $3.50 setup fee. If the competition charges $35.50, what does the print shop charge for each flyer? Now, we want to make 400 flyers here. Okay, so let's go and look at this real quick. So let's go ahead and get this straight in our head. Then we give some workspace. Okay, so the print shop advertises a special to print 400 flyers for less than the competition. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this straight in my head. Print shop, if you don't mind. And then I'll go competition, 50. All right? So the print shop and the competition. Let's think what they're doing here. The price, here we go. Where does it say that? For less than. So the print shop wants to have less than. See what I'm saying here? Since I'm going to eat the competition right here has to have more, so I'm eating that one, if that makes sense. Now, think about this, what it's saying here. The print shop advertises a special to print 400 flyers for less than. So there's no equal sign. They just want to be less than. They want to be equal to it. So what does this one do over here? Well, each flyer, right? How many flyers? 400. How much is each flyer? I don't know, but how many flyers are there? We'll go down for flyers. We're going to set that equal to X. Okay? Now, 400 times each flyer which includes a 350 setup fee. This is all included, right? And they want that to be less than what the competition charges of $35.50. Now I'm just step back, and I take a while to do this stuff. You got to make sure you read it right, make sure the inequality is right, make sure the setup stuff is right. And it does take a little while in the beginning, but after a while, I know I haven't given you many, I guess, word problems. It's just because I just don't, how do I say? I think we should learn how to do it first, and then we'll go apply it to the words. I think once we get a lot of words in the beginning of the explanations, it kind of freaks us out. But we find here. And then just solve this thing right here. Let's see this. This stands for print shop. Advertiser is special to print 400 flyers for less than the competition. So they want to be less than C. C is going to be the competition here. And they charge $350 or $35.50. The price includes $350 for setup and the prints. And that works. Okay, what does the print shop charge for each flyer? In the situation here, we just solve it for a regular variable x. So we're going to subtract 350, cancel that here. I'm going to go 400x is less than, well, let me get the zeros here. 5 take away 3 is 2. And there it is. Now we have 400, which is less than 32. 400x, I'm sorry. And what I'm going to do is just drop these decimals, if you don't mind. Now I divide by 400 here. Divide by 400 here. These cancel out. And I'm going to just bring it up here. X is less than 32 over 400. We can clean this one up. Divide them both by, hold on. Okay, so regarding this part real quick, we're going to have x is less than, this one happens to be 0.08. So about 8 cents. So as long as they come out here and charge less than 8 cents, they're good. You got it? Pretty cool. Not too bad. Make sure you set them up again. This is PS, print shop. The competition, if I'm eating the competition, that means that they're less than. And that's what they want to be. They want to be less than the competition. Competition charges $35.50. So they're going to have a total print of 400 plus the setup fee. So I'm going to go ahead and set this equation up here with an inequality symbol. Subtract, divide, and get the answer. Okay, let's go to example number 2 real quick. Solve this inequality right here. Now, remember, this is my equation equals this. So how would I do this? I would get rid of, I want the y by itself. I want to isolate the y. Add, what, 13? Add 13 to both sides. You see that? Gone here. Now it goes up 13 points. Divide by a negative. When I divide by a negative, guys, right here, look what happens to the inequality signs. They switch. So there's my inequality sign. Now there's my answer. Graph it from here. And there it is. I told you it spirals really good. This book is really good because it spirals really well. So I'm going to work out 2a. 2a is going to be 23 is greater than or equal to 10 minus 2w. Remember, only if I divide by a negative, this inequality switches. So I'm going to come out here. I want the w by itself, guys. There's this whole sentence here, and it says that this with this is less than that. Or you can say this is greater than that. I want the w's. So I'm going to subtract the 10 from both sides. These cancel out. I'm going to go with 13. Is greater than or equal to a negative 2w. Now in this situation, I needed to get the w's by itself, so I'm going to go 13. I just like to rewrite it. Sorry about that. 13 here, greater than or equal to 2w here, divided by negative 2, divided by a negative 2. These cancel out. Remember, this switches. I'm switching it now. This one's a negative 13 divided by negative, my 13 divided by negative 2 is a negative 6.5. So there's my answer. Graph on the number line. So I'm going to come out here. I'll give you the set solution, okay? The set notation. W is my answer. Such that W, in the situation, look at this, is greater than or equal to a negative 6.5. And there it is. So I'm going to come out here, draw a line like this. I know for sure I'm going to go to negative 6.5 here. Shade it in right here. Now you see how the W is on the left? Now I'm going to say that's my arrow sign to the right. I shaded it in because of the equal sign. Hey guys, 2b or not 2b? That is the question. Here we go, 4, 3, greater than negative 4y plus 11. Again, I want to come out here and solve for the variable, right? So I want to get the y by itself. First off, I get rid of everything else that's on the same side. Cancel it here. We're going to go with 32. So when I got there, I like to rewrite it again. Okay, 32 greater than or equal to negative 4y divided by negative 4 divided by negative 4. I'm doing this, guys, so the thing switches. Automatically switches. I'm left with a y is equal to a negative 8. So y is my answer. A set of y such that y is greater than a negative 8. Graph it to do a number line chibi. We're on chibi. It doesn't have to be like all professional, guys. You have to add more. You're fine with me like this. This is my variable on the left, and I'm going to shade it to the right. Oh, not shade. Point to the right. Not shaded, no equal sign. Okay. Questions over that one? Okay. Same thing. Let's add some words. Define a variable, write an inequality, and solve the problem. So 3 minus 11 times a number is more than 21 minus 5 times the number. So let n be the number. Okay, so 3 minus just translates 11 times the number is more than. This is more than. It's greater. You see the same? 21 minus 5 times that same number. Set it up, solve the equation. Or I have variables on both sides, guys. Variables on both sides. Which variable do I move? Which side do I move? Always approach by getting rid of, my opinion, getting rid of the smaller one. Okay. The way they approach it, it works. I don't mind. It's the same thing. They went ahead of 5n. I think that one's bigger. Winds up with this. Subtract 3. Divide by negative 6. Dividing by negative 6, which is it out. And there's your answer. Okay, 2 more. Let's go and work on this one. 2 more than half of a number is greater than 27. 2 more. When you see this, guys, 7th grade math, you'll miss this. 2 more than means to, when you have an equation, add 2. You gotta understand that already. That means than means to throw it at the end of the equation. Okay? 2 more than half of a number. So we're talking about a number, and we're going to go with n. So we're going to go with half n. You see that? Half n plus 2 is greater than 27. And there it is. Pretty easy. This one's super easy. So they want us to come out here and solve it. We set it up. And then we should solve it. So we're going to minus 2, cancel that. We're going to go with 1/2 n greater than 25. 1/2 n is greater than 25. What do I do here? If anybody says divide by 1/2, you're right, but you're wrong. Always, in my opinion, multiply by the reciprocal. 2 over 1. 2 over 1 is just what, 2? These cancel out. N is greater than 50. Going to the right. Not shaded in. No equal sign. And there it is. Okay, let's come out here and practice this one. Now, solving inequalities involving the distributive property. So we're going to have to solve inequalities, and it has to be like more complex, obviously. We're going to solve some right now with a distributive property. However, if you have something like this, you can distribute first. Or actually, you should distribute first, and then just clean it up. So we're going to solve this thing. Make sure keep track of the inequality sign. Make sure if you multiply or divide by negative, anytime it switches, everything else stays the same. So we have this right here. Distribute this, gives me that, plus 7. Now we can collect like terms of this side. See these two together. Oh, wait, no, these two together give me that. My bad. I thought that was a T. These two together give me that. Now we have which of these are smaller guys? Subtract the smaller one. Gives you that. So 8T, gone, subtract it from both sides. Add 13. Now we're at this part. Divide by 4. Remember, we did not divide by a negative here, so then it stays right there. And graph it. Let's try 4A, guys, real quick. Let's give us some more room. Okay, pause this video, guys, and practice on your own real quick. Let me come out here and start working it out. Okay, so I'm going to distribute here. First thing, I'll distribute here, and then distribute here. I distribute here, I'm going to get 30Z. Then I distribute here, it gives me, minus 18. Less than or equal to 36. Z. So now I have Z's on both sides. What I want to come out here and do, guys, I always move the smaller variable. So I'm going to move what I mean smaller, the smaller amount. This means there's 30 Z's over here and there's 36 over here. So I'm going to move these 30 Z's by getting rid of them on this side. How do I get rid of them? Put in this opposite, it's 0 pair. Cancel out. 18 negative is less than or equal to 6. Situation now is negative 18 is less than or equal to 6Z divided by 6 divided by 6. Guys, the variable is here. That number next to it, I divide by it. That gives me 1Z, and I want 1Z. This stays here, a Z. This gives me a negative 3. Sir, but you got a negative, so I switch it over? No. Did I divide by a negative? Are these things that I'm dividing by a negative? No, right? So it doesn't switch. Graph on a number line. So I'm going to switch this around, guys. I'm going to switch this around, right? Z is greater than or equal to a negative 3. Now I can graph it way easier. Number line like this. Put a negative 3 here, pointing to the right. See, it's to the right. Variables on the left, point to the right. Shade it in, because the equal sign. 4B. Okay, again, I always want the variable by itself. In this situation, I have double distribution. So I'm going to do this left-hand side right here. It gives me 2H, distribute here. I'm multiplying, guys. 2 times this. So I have 2 H's, and then I have a 12. And that's greater than, look at this part right quick. Multiply here, it gives me a negative 24. Multiply here, it gives me a positive, negative times a negative, positive 3H. Now, where do I have less H's? Right here. So I'm going to subtract those, move those over here. Minus 2H, minus 2H. Now, when I say I'm moving them over here, I don't want them over here, so I put it opposite. What I do to this side, I need to do this side. So I put the same negative 2H here that I put here. These cancel out. I'm going to go with 12 is greater than negative 24. This gives me just H. I don't want this here. I want the H by itself, so I'm going to put its opposite. These cancel out. I'm going to go with 6. 36 is greater than an H. And there it is. Okay, switch it around. H is less than 36. Think about this. I'm eating the 36, so that's greater than. So it means H is less than. Still eating the 36, still eating the 36. So I'm going to come out here and put a number line, 36. Arrow is pointing to the left. Shade it that way. Pretty cool. Okay. If solving an inequality results in a statement that is always true, the solution set is a set of all real numbers. So it means it's going to always work, so you can put any number there, it's always going to work. The solution set is written as X is the answer, or the set of X such that X is a real number. If solving inequality results in a statement that is never true, the solution set is the empty set. This is a symbol like this, okay, which is written as a symbol as imagine like the Ghostbusters, like a circle with a line around it. Like the keeping the ghost, no ghost, same thing here. There's no answer here. The empty set has no numbers. It means that there's nothing in there. So let's come out here real quick. Solve each inequality, check your solution. So we do this. We distribute here, do this work. Now, is this true or false? So I did this work and it gave me some weird thing like this. What does that mean? That means what? That means that, is this true or false? Well, think about that. Is this one greater than that one? Would you? I like to think of money. Would you rather have $25 or would you rather negative $12? I'd rather have. See, this one's grabbing the wrong one, and they're not equal, so it's false slash the empty set. There's no solution for this one. You have to trust yourself in your math here. Distribute here, collect like terms. You just now I got this statement here. And 18 is not less than an 18, but it is equal to it. So that's true. It's true, and it's going to be true forever. Slash, what happens that means? It's going to be all numbers. Slash, I also do this one. All real numbers, right? Let's look at this real quick, and we'll call it quits here for today. Okay, so I have this part real quick. Okay, so I'm going to come out here, solve each one, check your solution. Okay, distribute here, right? So I'm going to have the beginning, 18, minus, so this time here gives me a negative 24c. Right here. This here gives me a negative 12. Greater than or equal to, this gives me right here a negative 24. This here gives me a positive 6. Now, I just got to put stuff together, guys. Look at the way it works. Look what's going on, and so forth. On this left-hand side, I have this here and this here, both numbers, so I can put those together. It's called collecting their terms. It gives me 6. So I'm going to have a negative 24. C. These two together give me a 6. Greater than or equal to, oh, I forgot to see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that works. So then I have a negative 24c. If you look at this real quick, is this thing equal to this thing? I would say this is all, so like, all real numbers, every value would work here. Going once, going twice, what do y'all think? Well, let me continue working it out. I would go ahead and do what here? Which is smaller. So say you didn't recognize me. I want to go to add 24c. This would cancel out, leaving you with 6 is greater than or equal to 6. That's true. We're going to go with C is the final answer, such that C is a real number. Now, regarding this part, guys, a real number means any number you can think of. You can put all real numbers like that, too. Going once, going twice. What do y'all think about that one? Let's look at this one real quick. We have 46 less than or equal to 8m. Distribute here. Negative 8m. Distribute here. Negative 20. I know this part right here. Look at this. On the same side, these could cancel out. So I'm going to go with 46 is less than or equal to a negative 20. Okay, I'm going to tell you this much. This says it's greater. I'm going to tell you this. A negative is never greater than a positive. So this one's going to be wrong. Slash the answer is the empty set. No solution for this one. Going once, going twice. What do y'all think? Any questions here? Okay, so I'm going to come out here and do, we'll do these 6. Well, we'll do a couple of these. How about this? Copy this down, try them on your own. Okay, so if you think about this real quick, if 15 people with a total, if 15 people with 225 total pounds of luggage plan to ride an elevator with a 3,000 pound weight limit, write and solve inequality to find the allowable average weight per person. So here we go. We'll go with the people and the allowable weight. You don't want the allowable weight, I'll go with this allowable weight of the elevator to be how about this, less than the people, right? You want this one to be bigger. Can they be equal? Yeah. You don't want the people to weigh more, basically, than the elevator will allow you, because what will happen, you probably snap the safety or whatever it's capable of doing, you probably push it to the limits and make it fail / may endanger yourself or somebody. So you don't want that. So we're going to keep that weight of the people less than or equal to the, what they've kind of factored in. So 15 people times their average weight, I don't know, plus 225. You got it? We want that less than or equal to 3,000. Not too bad. Solve that one out. What do y'all think? Not too bad, right? That one wasn't too bad. I don't think I was going to go first there. Okay, so that one, final answer would be 185. Would be less than the average weight. Okay, Rita is ordering a pizza for that much and a few 2-liter bottles of soda. Don't drink soda, no bueno. Has $25 to spend. The cost of the area is $5. Each 2-liter bottle costs $1.99. Right, and solve an inequality to find the greatest number of bottles she can buy. So let's come out here. Let's go what she has. We'll go with her money, and then we'll go with the pizza. All right, pizza total. I'll go PT for pizza total. The most she could have is this, 25. She can't spend more than it. Can she spend the whole 25? Yes. So we're gonna go set that up. Now, how much money does she have? We're gonna go with 25. Okay, see how I set this one up? The money she has is 25. It has to be the greater amount. It can't be that she's ordered more pizza. Otherwise, it's just say, no, you can't order it. Sorry about that. Let's set up how much she's going to go ahead and pay, okay, for the total pizza stuff. Time on, guys. Okay, so coming out here, ordering a pizza. She's ordering a pizza, so that's a cool part. So we know that one's $14.99 or $14.49. And then she's going to order some drinks, right? And each delivery, oh great, we have a lot to add on this one. So each drink is what? $1.99. I'm gonna go say, well, I'll go with D if you don't mind for the drinks. Plus $5 for delivery. Look at this. $25 has to be greater than or equal to all of this. If you add this much, you can figure out what she can order. All right? I think that's pretty cool. Going once, going twice. What do y'all think? Final answer here, D is equal to 2.8. So 2.8 means that she can order 2 whole drinks and an 8/10 of another drink. Realistically, you can't do that since you have to buy bottles complete. You can only order 2 drinks. Okay, let's come over here real quick. Let's do 2 of these. We'll do 5 and 6, okay? So right here, looking at this one, I'm going to go ahead and get the x by itself. So I'm going to graph. We're -7, -7. This gives me a -3x. Cancels out here. Greater than or equal to, what? No, there's 3, 4 more, 36. Now we're going to have this divide by -3, divide by -3. This comes out here, x. Look at this part here, switches, because I divided by a negative. -12. Number line, cheapy, number line, cheapy, number line, negative 12. Going to the left. This system here, we'll call it quits, 30 minutes. We're going to come out here and go with smaller variables, smaller here, minus 4m, minus 4m. We want to get rid of the smaller one. Cancel here, negative 17, less than or equal to 2m plus 25. Want to get minus 25 here. Again, I want the m by itself, minus 25 here. Cancel out here. This gives me less than 2m. What is that? Negative 42. Coming out here, we're going to divide by 2, divide by 2. M is less than or equal to a negative 21. I do not switch the variable. I do not switch inequality sign. I'm sorry, I do not switch the inequality sign. I am not dividing by a negative. Okay, I do get a negative answer. Don't worry about that. Switch it around. Okay, number 9. Negative 21. Ooh. Shade it in. Equal sign pointing to the right. Go to the right. There it is.